So step two, my friends, is to build out the alternative healthcare economy, the one juxtaposed next to the current monopolistic system, to provide them some healthy competition and to provide the buyers more options. So 80 to 90% of the care we get is through direct primary care, also called DPC. I wrote a book on this, co-authored with Dr. Shane Purcell from Georgia. It's probably a 10-minute read. I haven't timed it, but I think that would be fair. It's put in the form of like a children's book. It is not a children's book. It's meant as an educational tool to hand out or just to share when someone says, "What's DPC?" So, in my opinion, for us to create a new cultural norm on a culture is unconscious norm. So, and when you've successfully changed the culture, you create a new norm. And if you were to ask someone, "What's DPC?" I would hope that 90% or more would say, well, that's an alternative care. That's where doctors were frustrated in their roles in the hospital or coming out of residency, and they realized they'd have maybe 2,500 patients. They didn't think that was right. They would have to code a lot of the day or do pajama time, as they call it, and they went out and they've started their own practices, and that's DPC. So they can run the primary care clinic just as they feel is best, as they've learned in medical school, and not be influenced by insurance and coding and overloading of patients and so forth. So that's DPC. We believe the DPC is the foundation for this movement of creating the new alternatives on the seller side for three primary reasons. Number one, it's robust. In 2020 in Wisconsin, we had, Madison article said we had 15 DPCs in 2020. That's exploded. Today we have 160 DPCs. And you know what we're going to do very soon at the FMMA and share on our website freely is that we've went out and we found all that we could of DPCs in the nation. I'm sure we're missing a few, and I'm sure there's some corrections to be made, and that's where we ask your help. And if you can email us at FMMA support, FMMAsupport.org, we'll get those fixed or added or removed or changed or whatever is needed. So this is going to be an ongoing fluid list. But guess how many we've tracked in the nation? This is not where someone just signs up. We went out and found them. We found over 4,300 DPCs in America. Now, others have trackers out there, and we're with them, and we're not in any way against them. I've talked to them. Many of them are FMMA members. We're not trying to compete here. We just feel this is so foundational, and in terms of the seller side of the movement, we needed a complete list. So we've offered to partner with those others and so forth. So I just want to be clear, we're not trying to outshine anyone or outdo anyone. We just feel this is so important. And they are with us. We're not against them in any way. They are with us in this movement and doing their part. So with that kind of number, that gives us a great foundation for this movement. The other two reasons direct primary care is foundational is that it's the collector, the funnel, as in the same way hospitals use primary care, and it's also the distributor, the referrer. So we know that hospitals, they say that one of the most expensive things in healthcare is the primary care doctor's pen. That's because it matters where that referral goes. Well, they're required to refer mostly internally, right? They can even get in trouble. And so direct primary care doctors, we want them to refer to value, wherever it may be. If it's at the hospital, great. It doesn't tend to be at the hospitals today. But we want them to refer to value in the future, wherever it is. That's what a free market looks like. So with direct primary care being so robust, and with it growing so fast, it can work with one person. It can work with two people. It can work with a family. It can work with a small employer, fully insured plan even. They're adding them on. It's so broken. It can work with a level funded plan. It can work with a large employer self-funded plan. And that's why it's growing so fast, and it really isn't dependent on anything, and it's outside of those network walls. And so that's why we feel this is so important. And this is really, I wouldn't say built out, but my goodness, that's a great start. And I would say that these clinics are being added rapidly by the day by physicians who are taking charge. And I always say, boy, man, if the monopoly wants to mess with someone, right, I don't think physicians who've been through medical school would be my first pick. And to try to manipulate them. These are very resourceful, smart people. and maybe they're not taught business things in medical school on purpose, but they're going out and they're figuring it out, and they're learning, and there are resources out there to help them as well. But direct primary care clinics are exploding across the nation, and that gives us a great foothold for the last two steps, which I'll do together in the last video, which are together, which kind of need to rise at the same pace. But how cool is that? How cool is that if we can acknowledge the monopoly and not spend our lifetime or more trying to fix it, and that we have DPC as the foundation, folks. We're already at steps 1, 2, and we're going to be focused in a little bit on 3 and 4 together. We're a good ways in this movement. Some are calling it, Keith Smith is calling this inevitable at this point. He's been around the block. I take his advice seriously and his wisdom seriously. But this is no longer even a pipe dream. This is no longer an idea or a theoretical idea. This is being proven out. And so, won't you join us? Whether you just join us in the movement or a member of the FMMA. I always say join the FMMA, join the movement. We are kind of a hub, melting pot for the movement, made up of physicians, employers, TPAs, PBMs, advisors, many others who are passionate about this topic and who often feel alone in this. And we are making great progress. As you see, I'm very encouraged. I actually believe we're going to do this in 5 years. This isn't something that is a showing for me or just a good effort, or Matt worked for a nonprofit organization and he did good things. I don't care about any of that, honestly. I care about us actually fixing this and helping many people. And I know there are many out there like me that are not interested in impressing or making a good showing, but actually moving the needle on these things that are bankrupting many Americans and harming them and avoiding care and all sorts of things. So that's step 2, my friends. And we'll go on to step 3.